Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful guest on our show today. His name is Charles Hains. He's an Australian but lives in Switzerland. He's the head of project development of B.H.M.S. Let me introduce him to you. Hi, Charles.
Hi, Baba. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
It's really great to have you on my show, Career Today. So Charles, what's your purpose of visiting Pakistan?
Oh, thanks, Baba. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for welcoming me to Cotham.
Thank you.
To be here. The purpose of my visit today, it's a very exciting time for B.H.M.S, the Business and Hotel Management School of Switzerland, and Cotham. We have a relationship professionally for our students for Cotham coming to B.H.M.S Switzerland, where the graduates of Cotham will now be able to come as entry to our bachelor and master's degrees programs in Switzerland for them to further their education. So today's a very exciting day for us as we sign the agreement.
Right. Charles, what inspired you to come into this hospitality education? And by the way, what are the opportunities for the young graduates in the hospitality industry?
Okay. So what inspired me? I think education. I've been in hospitality education now for more than 20 years.
Right.
But I've been in the industry now for more than almost 40 years.
Right.
And so I had a lot of industry experience, different
Right.
hotels, small hotels, big hotels. And I had the chance one day to teach some unemployed people to get back into the workforce. Mm-hmm. And I didn't actually believe that I was a very good teacher until I actually taught them.
Okay.
And I found the pleasure of imparting knowledge and skills to these people and helping them develop a career in hospitality.
That's great.
From a situation of being unemployed.
That's
and
great.
at that point, that very much inspired me to be an educator in hospitality.
That's great. And what is the potential of hospitality industry for the young graduates?
I think the potential in the hospitality industry is huge.
Right.
I think our industry, as many people know, it's a part of that big service sector.
Right.
It's the fastest growing area in the world.
Right.
And it's producing an enormous number of jobs. And importantly, not just jobs, but careers.
Right.
And I think for young graduates, they need to see hospitality not as just a job, but
Right.
also as a career,
Right.
as career growth as well. And I think that's important for them to realize. And there's a huge potential to grow in our industry.
That's right. And by the way, what are the big challenges faced by the hospitality industry today?
Right. I think if you talk to the industry people, you talk to human resource people, their biggest challenge is to staff their properties.
Right.
There's an enormous growth in properties around the world. Even if you look now in Lahore, all the properties that are going up,
Right.
they need humans.
Yeah.
Our properties cannot run with machines.
Yeah.
And so this human capital and having well-qualified staff is probably the biggest challenge internationally in our industry. As well as that is this idea of the soft skills.
Right.
Is the importance of the soft skills with the staff. This desire to build a career in this industry, to see this industry as a career, and also to put the time and effort to grow within this industry. This is also a challenge and important to also look at this service industry as a career industry.
Right. And in this context, what should be the role of the education sector, which is working in the hospitality,
Right.
travel and tourism?
Yeah, I think the education sector is twofold in many ways, in fact even more. One area is obviously with imparting the knowledge, skills necessary that the students need to function in this industry.
Right.
Also, it's the very important part of the growth of the individual. So
Right.
this professionalism within the individual, this desire to be on time, this desire to dress professionally, this desire to see every opportunity as a challenge,
Right.
this desire to self-motivate.
Right.
These are important areas where we can play a role as educators
Right.
in developing what we call this personal professional attitude of students.
That's right. What is the importance of hospitality education for those who are already in the industry? Because as you see, there are so many people working in the industry.
Right, that's true.
Who didn't have a chance to attend a college and formally get their qualification
Right.
from an institute.
Right.
But somehow they got into the industry and they have a lot of experience now. but they face one big challenge. They cannot grow further in their career.
Right.
So in this context, how do you see the importance of hospitality education for those who are already working in the industry?
Right. I see education, no matter whether you're currently working in the industry or you're a student, is this idea that I should always be learning.
Yeah.
Okay, learning is a continual pattern. Just because I am working in the industry doesn't mean I shouldn't be continually learning.
Right.
And I think that's a whole aspect of part of career growth is learning.
Right.
And yes, it's a challenge for a full-time person to be also learning, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. You don't have to leave your job to learn. There is so much opportunity out there in part-time courses, maybe online courses, and also taking a short time out to do modules of blocks to build up your learning, your knowledge, your understanding, to then open that next door at a higher level.
That's right.
And the industry is wanting well-qualified people. There are many opportunities at the higher level, and it is through education that people get that opportunity. But it doesn't have to always be full-time. You can study and work at the same time through hospitality, through education.
Tell me one thing. The challenge of finding right people for the hospitality industry is becoming bigger and bigger.
Correct,
with the passage of time. When you talk to the employers, they would always complain about the lack of soft skills in the candidates and in the graduates also who come from the institutes. So how do you see we can address this challenge? What are the special measures an institute can take to address this particular challenge?
I think that's a good point, and I think the area of soft skills is certainly an area to address, and I think it's an area where we as educators are very good at.
Right.
We at B.H.M.S, and I think you also at Cotham, we have what we would term a personal and professional development plan. So in other words, we guide the students through that area of their development, including their soft skill development, in a guided way, putting it in the context of hospitality or putting it in the context of the service industry, but helping them to build their career, and at the same time building that vital soft skill, which is lacking in many people out there today. And I think this is part of our role, is to help them guide. They're not going to be born with the soft skills. It has to be developed. And I think it's our role as well to have a development plan alongside the education.
All right. Charles, how has your experience been so far in Pakistan?
Actually, my experience has been an eye-opener. Okay, this is my first time in Pakistan.
All right.
Yeah, so first time in Lahore.
Yeah.
I visited many countries. I travel a lot for work. In all my jobs I've been, and I found it's a very enjoyable experience. I find the people are very friendly, welcoming. I found local food is fantastic.
Right.
Nice bit of spice. I like spicy. It's very good.
Yeah, it's spicy.
And the actual overall experience has been very pleasant, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it and can't wait to come back again.
That's right. So you travel very extensively, and you've been to many countries around the world. Probably more than 70 countries.
I think it's almost 70. Round about that. Yes, I think it's pretty close.
Okay. So which of the countries do you like most? Because you've been to so many countries,
right? So
you must be having some crush on some one country.
Yeah, we could always say that getting back to Switzerland is always nice when you've been travelling. Okay, of course, though, I love Australia, and also I've been in Switzerland now 25 years, and so I certainly have an affinity there. In terms of travelling, one of the countries that was the biggest eye-opener for me a few years ago was when I was in Colombia.
Right.
Colombia was a fantastic country, and again, service-orientated. The people are very friendly, but their food industry is fantastic, and it was a great experience there. Big on fusion cuisine, and the restaurant scene there in Colombia was something that I had never experienced before. Very different, and it was a big eye-opener for me. And so actually, Colombia was an exciting place to be for me. But all the countries I visit, I enjoy. I try and always experience the local cuisine. And I think that's part of when you're traveling a lot, is to also get a flavor of that country, to do that. And to do that is through food.
And which cuisine is your most favorite?
That's a tough one. Which cuisine is my most favourite? Now, as an Australian, I should say barbecue. Okay, I love a good barbecue.
Yeah.
Okay, but when I think I don't actually know if I have a favourite cuisine.
Right.
But there are many local cuisines at the
Right.
moment in Pakistan, in Lahore. Today, yesterday, I had some fantastic local food, beautiful flavours, great spices, and I think that's the thing when I go somewhere and to experience the local food is enjoyable. I enjoy eating, so that helps, and so I don't really have an affinity to say that's better than that.
All cuisines are
It's-
good because I think every cuisine has its own
Yes.
idiosyncrasy.
Yeah, I think so. And
whenever you taste some cuisine or you try it, you find something new in it.
I think
and you
do.
like it.
And you do. And when you get to know the people and they
Yeah.
explain the
Yeah.
cuisine, it's
Yeah.
even tastes even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Charles, as you said, it was your first time in Pakistan, and you enjoyed being here.
Absolutely.
And I hope you will keep coming to Pakistan
Oh, I'm
in
sure.
future.
I'm sure. We
also.
have an agreement, and of course
Yeah,
that
yeah,
will bring me
yeah,
regularly to here. And I certainly would love to see your students again
Yeah,
and talk
yeah.
to the students as I always do.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for being on Career Today.
And it has been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we were talking to Mr. Charles Hains from B.H.M.S, Switzerland. I'm sure it was a lovely talk. It was very insightful, especially for the youngsters who are planning to join the hospitality, travel and tourism industry. Until next time, goodbye.